Welcome to the Goat Show, the show where we celebrate and debate all things great. And today, gentlemen, we're going to be celebrating. Viva la Mexico! Mexico. Now, normally on the show, I would have a big old thing of whiskey. Good old American Tennessee whiskey, maybe a little Kentucky bourbon. But, gentlemen, it turns out the invasion has begun. We have been conquered. We are now officially Mexicans. There you go. So when in Mexico, you do as the Mexicans do. And so I'm having a little tequila, they call it. A little Jose Cuervo.
Oh, that's gay. That was you ruined it. You were on such a roll, and then you're like, and I'm drinking Jose. Like,
you got to break out the good stuff, okay?
Ay.
You got to break out that stuff that makes you want to.
No me gusta.
Makes you want to party, because I'm ready to party. All right, we out in these streets, literally. We lighting it up, literally. You know what I'm saying? Ghost riding the whip, literally. It's a good time. It's a fun time. I miss my old hood of LA.
So you get hit by tear gas or a fucking rubber bullet.
Damn. I mean, isn't that how it always goes, though, when shit gets too lit? I mean, I don't know what people are complaining about. It's like, this shit's fun, man. It's a party, a riot, as they say. You know, and I mean, look, at Philadelphia, shit riots, and then the police come and they're, just destroyed, and then everybody goes home. It's kind of like what's happening in LA, right? I think. I don't know. I'm just saying. I think maybe people are taking this a little too seriously. Or am I wrong? Do we got a problem here that we need to solve?
I mean, I'm gonna say this, bro. When they bring in the Marines in, there might be a problem. I also feel like maybe some people have lost the plot.
Some people. What do you mean, some people? Fresh.
Well, I just think that some people are taking things a little too far, right? Like,
yeah.
I don't know. Look, I mean, protesting is protected, right?
It is.
Throwing rocks at cars and shit.
Not protected.
Like, it doesn't even matter if it's like federal agent or not. It's like you have to understand that if you're committing crimes on this mass scale, then they're gonna have to bring in people to fight those crimes on a mass scale, right?
I mean, listen, it doesn't even matter if the cars have no drivers.
The funniest thing about it all to me is just the discourse back and forth between Gavin Newsom and Donald Trump. They're literally Trump's like, I called him. Newsom's like, he didn't call me. He's like, here's the call log of when I called him on the 7th.
New scum.
Man. All right. There's a lot. So for anybody who doesn't know, maybe you haven't been paying attention. There have been some riots in LA. Now, LA is known as a town that occasionally has a good riot. All right. They had a riot in 92. They had a riot in the 60s. LA's a rioting town. I mean, so I don't know why everybody's getting too crazy about it. We LA people like to riot out in these streets. So I don't know that. I feel like the way people are taking it, I don't know. But for anybody who doesn't know, we had some riots over this past weekend in LA. They're about immigration. Okay. It's about illegals being in our country, foreigners invading our land that the natives have us. All right. We're the natives.
This guy.
Look, ICE is just trying to do the Lord's work, going in LA, trying to round up these criminals, according to Homan, special dude on this thing. I don't even know what his title is, because they should have just made him. Why didn't they make Christie Noem Homeland Secretary? Should have just made him Homeland Secretary. I don't know. Maybe he's too hot to handle. But according to him, there's some bad guys in our streets, and they're not official citizens of this country. And so ICE went in and was rounding them up. Sounds good to me. Let's get them out of here. They don't need to be here. Let's send them to El Salvador. Put them in that Supermax prison or whatever they got down there. But then it appears that they have been rounding up, or at least the story goes that they've also been rounding up some good people. They may not be citizens, but they're trying to do the right thing. They're going to ICE centers to, make the pitch, I guess, to let them chill. They're hanging out in restaurants, working. They're contributing to society, and ICE agents came in, rounded them up. They were all swatted out. Actually, let's pause for a second. I think they need to redesign the SWAT outfits. You know what I'm saying? I know that they got to be threatening. Like if you're hanging out in your home and you're doing some vile shit, you got to have SWAT pop in, crash through the windows, tank thing, roll up, full body armor. Let's go get the bad guys. But if you're like rounding up people, detaining, I mean, whether you agree with it or not, if you're detaining just like normal people that aren't a threat, I feel like SWAT should dress down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. What do you guys think? I just feel like they need to design like a different outfit for when it's just like mild swatting. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to, hyper aggressive.
I think that's almost like oxymoronic, because you're like mildly calling the fucking SWAT team, my bro. Like this is the SWAT team. Like I'm with a whole redesign.
Dress like just regular police officers.
Pardon?
So what are they supposed to dress like? Just regular police officers?
I'm saying, then why aren't you sending the cops? Like
that's right.
But we can give them like really dope, intimidating face masks, cool helmets, like really cool stuff, like for when we need the SWAT team. But I'm against SWAT team dressing down, because I think if you need the SWAT team, then you need them to be protected.
Okay. So you're saying let's not dress down the SWAT team. Let's just figure out another way, another type of, way of being able to investigate and detain people who are here illegally, which Deezy suggests it should just be normal cops. Okay. I'm just,
from what I understand, the Los Angeles Police Department had no control after the riot started. So then he sent in.
So maybe you need like an intermediate level, like something before the SWAT team, but like above the police.
I don't know, bro. The police are definitely over militarized, yes, but I wouldn't chalk it up the special weapons and tactics to fucking being over militarized. That's like their whole point.
I mean, what about like cops on rollerblades with like pads? They just roll up, literally, grab an illegal, and then
they
there you
ain't
go.
Gonna roll up. All they want is fucking donuts.
Damn. No, I mean, yeah, I think okay. So part of it is, part of it is this is what both sides are claiming shit, and I don't know who's saying the real shit. Homan out here saying these are fucking hardened criminals, gang members, gang bangers trying, menaces to society, a threat to our nation. All right.
Some are.
I'm sure of it. One guy I think was like he killed somebody, and he wasn't even Mexican. He's
okay,
a
bro. But today
bro,
I was
all the
talking to
media.
somebody in Texas, and his grandmother, who is a legal citizen of the United States, got grabbed up by ICE.
Damn.
Like that's not okay, bro. She's still in custody right now. Come on, like you got to do some due diligence, bro.
All the media personnel are getting fucked up trying to cover the protests. Like one journalist got hit with tear gas. One guy hit by a rubber bullet. Like they're trying to get the footage, and they're getting fucked up.
It's some wild shit, man. I mean, to be fair, LA cops don't necessarily have a reputation for being, easy on people. At least over the years, they've had a reputation of being a little harsh. I know when I was in LA and I was driving Uber one night, and I just happened to be dropping off a family in our town that maybe ain't so nice. cops patrol there and they'll shine a freaking spotlight in your face when you're driving. Like, they don't fuck around in LA. So I don't know. I mean, part of me is kind of like, I mean, when I was there in, I think 2020, I was in downtown LA and motherfuckers are doing the same shit, running around, Mexican flag. Okay, so let's talk about this. So the world famous image is what they're saying that they're trying to, Trump is trying to, make a big dramatic situation out of this thing. All right. And then they keep posting this image of this thugged out, he looks like a freaking Mexican jihad, fucking ripped up bro, with him standing on a burning cop car, waving the Mexican flag. Okay. Saying, we fucking claim this land now. We are the new colonizers. We are the new conquistadors. We're taking our land back for Mexico or some shit. I don't know. My thing is like, it's kind of like the SWAT thing. I feel like if you're trying to, make the American people feel for you and feel for your plight, maybe we are being a little unfair. Maybe we are being a little too rough. All right. And you want to just stand up for your rights, stand up for your people. I just feel like, don't use the Mexican flag. I feel like use the American flag. You know what I'm saying? Let's take out all the stuff. I'm just saying from a marketing perspective, marketing ideas here, right? You want sympathy for illegals and immigrants. You got to fly an American flag, guys. You can't be flying these Mexican flags.
I would agree.
The wrong message.
I would agree, because now it's not like you. Now you're acting like you're an adversary of the country, not somebody who wants to come assimilate and be part of the country, but just can't wait for the 9 months to come in, or 9 years, whatever, however long, right?
Right.
Because now you're changing the picture. Now you're against the United States. Right. You don't want to come here to be part of the thing. And now I'm not a sympathizer. Now I'm like, okay, you got to go. Like, if you're here to overthrow everything and fuck everybody up, you got to go.
Right.
Like, it's not, I don't know. So this is kind of where
I
mean, look
here, check it out. I have an idea of what I think the play is here.
Okay.
You let the riots occur, and then maybe the people that you're looking for gather themselves, and then you just bring in the military and you check everybody because they're rioting, so you could detain them anyway. And then, so what if that's the weird kind of play they're trying to do too, by bringing in the military?
That makes sense.
But
makes sense.
It says here there's a lot of different things. It's very interesting. I'm looking at Perplexity's summary of everything, and
hold on. I want to put a period on sentence with this thing we're talking about.
Trump signed 6 p.m. What day was this? On the 7th, 6 p.m. He signed a presidential memorandum deploying 2,000 members of the California National Guard to LA County, invoking 10 USC 12406 to nationalize the Guard. And then also Marines were at Camp Pendleton were placed on high alert, warned that they're prepared to mobilize them if violence continued. And then on the 8th,
so let's. Okay. So these riots. Am I frozen to you guys? Okay. I think Deezy might be frozen to us, or no, or to me. Whatever.
Deezy is.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
we can hear you. Just can't see. I think your camera's frozen, bro.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay. Well, let's go through it real quick. So they're saying that people are being scooped up unfairly. That mobilized a bunch of people who are, who stand for, individual liberty, the rights of, people, some unions, and basically that mobilized people to, I don't know, I guess they were trying to protest, and then I'm not sure how it got violent all of a sudden. I mean, that's kind of one of the questions I have. One of the questions I have is, how did this thing turn from being just a Oh shoot, we lost Deezy. Oh, you and me, Fresh. We'll go. He'll probably come back on a second. Yeah, he's coming back. I'm just wondering, how do we go from it being, just exploding so fast? And there have been video, and this happened in 2020, where it shows that some people were laying out bricks, laying out, things for protesters to take to be able to use as weapons and to engage in violent behavior. And
there's also people hiring people to go.
Right.
And that's not a like a maybe thing. This is something that's happening for sure.
Right.
Like,
well, there's a post on Craigslist, right, that said but it didn't say we're hiring Mexicans to riot. It just basically said, if you're a big, strong dude and you want to
join a militia and get paid like $6 to $12K, come out.
Shit, call me. When's the Jacksonville riot happening? I'm here. I need to make some goat show money. All right, fund this operation. I ain't quite ripped enough. What do you got to do to qualify? You got to be ripped out, I'm assuming.
I don't know.
You got to look good in a do-rag and a face mask, right?
I don't know.
Whoever's out there trying to form a... And look, I know I'm Indian, but I'm brown. Come on. I can pass as Mexican. Come on now.
If you
hire me.
Spanish. Can you roll your R's?
Yeah. See?
All
right, hit me up. Jack's wing of this, national rioting front. I don't know. What do you call it? But, just hit me up. Go Show Pod.
What happened to Deezy, man?
Did we lose his ass? Damn. I think they might have got Deezy. I think Deezy might... Oh, shit. Hold on. Actually, Deezy might have left the show. He heard about these. He heard about what he could make. Deezy kind of looked Mexican. I don't know, bro. He's a fighter. He is ripped out.
Deezy.
Damn. Done lost Deezy. What do you think, Fresh? Are we so they're saying, oh, we get him back?
I'm here. Back? I'm trying to fix my camera, bro. They got my camera.
Oh, damn. That's all right, man. We thought you left because you were going to answer one of those Craigslist postings to join the Mexican militia. You know what I'm saying? Because we know you fight. We know you ripped out. We know you look good when you put on a black mask and shit. Expecting to see you at in Phoenix on top of a cop car. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm glad you're back. I'm glad. I guess they're trying to sabotage you. That's what's going on. That's why the camera thing. But nevertheless, we shall continue. We shall prosper. Okay. So anyway, bringing it back to center here. So they're saying that the riots start happening. There's violence in the streets. There must be a response. Now, this is where I don't know, man. I'm on the flip side of some shit. I might say something controversial here, Fresh and Deezy, because generally speaking, in the past, we've kind of been down with Trump. We, what I'm saying, like he suggests a good thing now and again. We kind of agree with that. We got to do something. I agree with him that, hey, man, if there's illegal criminals in this country, they need to get deported immediately. But I don't know if I agree with him sending in troops. So I don't know. What do you think, Fresh? I feel like I am a states' rights person, and this feels very uncomfortable to me. What do you think?
Look, I kind of agree with it. Like, I agree that it's kind of fucked up to send in like the Marines, right? Mm-hmm. But the thing is like they had ICE agents doing the job. Like, now they need to send in people to protect those ICE agents and round up the people who were trying to harm them. Like, okay.
Do you believe that
there's a certain thing that you have to accept when you commit crimes? Like, when you become a criminal, then you are now like your main job is to not get caught.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So you know what I'm trying to say? So now, like, you're committing crimes, whether you believe they're crimes or not, they are by the books.
Right.
You have to be ready for law enforcement to come.
Right. If you're here in the United States illegally, you are just technically. You may be a great guy, all right? You may be a great woman. You know, you might even be a child. Let's just be real. I mean, I hate to say it, but you know, you're here illegally. You're illegal. Now, I think the soft-hearted amongst us would say, "Hey, true, you're not legally here, therefore, quote unquote, you're committing a crime." And we might have a soft heart and say, "Look, we don't need to go." That's why I'm saying like SWAT needs to, you know, maybe change up the outfit a little bit when it's like just normal people doing normal shit and not criminals. You know what I'm saying? But the truth is that, you know, you are here illegally. We don't know who you are because you're undocumented. So it's hard to say like, okay, what exactly is the case? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like I do believe that you have to enforce illegal immigration laws. You know, we at least need to know who you are. My only issue is like, I don't know, maybe I'm too soft-hearted, but just deportation, I think is a tough one, man. Because it's kind of like, I don't know, because sometimes you have family that one part of the family is legally here, the other part isn't. I don't know. I just feel like sometimes, like if you're just gonna grab them and drop them, I don't know how I feel about that. But
I'll be right
I don't know,
back,
what do you
boys.
think?
I think I have to reset my PC. They really did. They really did get me. They did. I don't know. I can't even manually turn off my camera to like reset it. It's like locked on, and it says that it's being used by another app. There's no apps open. It just shut off in the middle of me talking out of nowhere. So weird.
Damn,
They're trying to
ISIS
get
coming
us,
to get
bro.
you, man. Who in your house is illegal?
Nobody, bro.
Sure. Okay.
Give me
All
give me
right,
5
China.
minutes. These will be back.
Here they come, grabbing you up, dividing your family. I know it's not funny, but anyway, okay. Well, it's you and me.
But
Fresh.
listen, I understand. I understand. Like, probably more probably more than I could say, or probably more than like people would understand that I would understand. The thing is, bro, as somebody who understands it very closely to home, that the part of your job is to not get caught. You don't get mad. You don't get to be mad
right?
that like now ICE is doing some sting operation. You get better. You
Right.
hide under the floorboards, my bro. You're not allowed to be here. Like,
So you're saying there it's sort of an understanding. It's like when Robert De Niro and Al Pacino are talking in Heat, right? Like, you know, they know what each other are. They accept what they are. And there's rules of engagement, but they know their place. And if one person gets got, then hey, that's the game. And your job, and you're saying as an illegal immigrant, it's your job not to get caught.
yeah,
Not to
well,
get found out.
as anybody, as any criminal, right? Would be like
yeah.
any criminal's job is to try to not get caught, right? And like,
Right.
as an illegal immigrant, I'm not saying that like I'm the judge and I think that you're not supposed to be here, but
Right.
like there are rules in place and there are governing bodies and law enforcement that enforce these things.
Right.
So regardless of like how we feel about it and as if people should be allowed to come and go as they, whatever, it all is irrelevant. At the end of the day, you came here under the like you have the information already,
Right.
under the pretense that you are illegally here. You will have to run or stay away from law enforcement.
Right.
So now you can't be mad that like, oh, like a whole bunch of illegal immigrants gathered in one place, so much so that ICE is coming to do a sting there.
Right.
I ain't mad about that.
Right.
Like, that's the job of the people you knew you were up against. And I'll be honest with you, bro. Like, I think this, like, everybody else riding in the streets thing is really losing the plot, bro. Like, it's really losing the plot because it's not about if they're doing good or not.
Right.
Like,
That's
it's
true.
Again, it's about them coming in illegally.
Right.
And like, you don't change the law by rioting and fucking making everybody come in illegally.
Right.
And allowing people to get, you have to go through the proper channels and change the policies and laws.
Right. Yeah,
So,
no, I mean, I agree. Sometimes people, I'll have friends who say that, what's that famous phrase? You know, a riot is a whatever of the unheard. You know what I'm talking about?
is it the one about like first they came for whatever.
No, that well, there's that, but there's it's. I think I'll have to find the quote, but just the idea that people riot when they feel like they're not getting a fair shake, right? They feel like
Right.
they're trapped. They feel like they're not. Although, you know, to be fair, I mean, in the '60s, a lot of peaceful you can do a lot of peaceful protesting. It does work because at some point, you know, a lot of humans have a kind heart. They are actually empathetic. There's actually a lot more of us empathetic human beings than like narcissistic, sociopathic.
That's built into us. Yeah, like
right,
these are disorders for a reason.
Right. And if you see peaceful people sitting and being abused, but they're being respectful, and you see like the evil, and it inspires people to want to change things. And I'll say this too. And this I was going to say this before. I'm going to bring it back to it. If they were waving American flags instead of Mexican flags, there's a part of every, in my opinion, every American, I'd say Canadian, but there's a part of every American that is a rebel. I think it's the one thing left that Americans are. You know, other countries, they had long histories of people ruling over them. They kind of got comfortable in that, you know, whether it's Europe or it's Asia or it's, you know, or it's fucking, you know, Africa, wherever, Persia, whatever, always had rulers. You always had tribal leaders. You always had someone over you who was, you know, higher than you, better than you, more deserving than you, had the right bloodline, and you are but a peasant and a serf that must obey. And that mentality, I feel like, is in a lot of countries. Most countries, probably every country, except, in my opinion, the United States.
Well, I think that we've, again, like lost the plot, right? So I don't know if you remember this, but there was a time where motherfuckers would have got together, sang Kumbaya, grabbed hands, and protected the illegal immigrants, just like this. They wouldn't have fought you, but they just would have grabbed hands and sung Kumbaya, bro. You know what I mean? This land is my land. That's what,
bro. They passed that. They're saying they're saying they're past that. They no longer.
It's what works, because the average man, the layman, looks at that and thinks, "Wow, that's beautiful." Willing to just, you know what I mean? Like, because it's peaceful, it's beautiful. It's not like just, I don't know. To me, that's bullshit. You're scrapping people. It's bullshit. But also, I have another point. You said they're looking for their fair shake. To me, bro, you better be happy. Life is not fair. Because if life was fair, you'd end it on the cross.
Oh shit. Damn. Easy, you back, bro? What's going on?
Here?
You there?
Yeah, like Deezy's camera broke. We all getting A6000s now.
Yo, I don't know
That's the
what's
only
going
solution.
on, but
you back?
Yeah,
We got him.
Hallelujah.
dude. I literally had to restart my computer because something malfunctioned, and then the OBS it wouldn't turn off. I held the power button for like ever, and finally I got it to turn off. Turned it back on, plugged it back in. We're back, baby. The CIA can't stop me now.
All right. Well, okay. Now that you bring that up, let's talk about this. Okay. So on the one hand, if we're to believe everything we're hearing on you know, the corporate media and all that kind of stuff, this is just a natural uprising. People are tired of it in LA. Tired of you hassling ICE, hassling their neighbors, hassling their families. They're just good people trying to make their way through the world. They just want to be safe. They don't want to go back to their countries. So their countries are dangerous, and there are no opportunities there. And you're just coming in and taking the shit. And we're not gonna take it anymore. We're standing up for ourselves. And it's Mexican pride. We're gonna wave the Mexican flag because we are Mexican, but we want to be in America. And we don't want to go back to Mexico, but we want to stay in America.
You're not gonna take it. No, we ain't gonna take it. We're not gonna take it anymore. You know, like that.
I mean, just why damage the place in where you live? You know what I mean? Like you live.
I agree. This is what we're saying, right? Like you be singing Kumbaya, you be waving American flags. Americans would be like, "Yo, bro, see that's power. They're American."
Well, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Some people will be saying this is all ops. Now, there's multiple ops here to be had. Okay, So let's go through the list. You guys tell me which op you think it is. All right. Op number 1. Everything's just, what it appears to be. Angry people standing up for what they believe are their rights. Okay. That's op number 1. Op number 2. This is by design. It's George Soros. He out here hiring these people off Craigslist. He out here putting pallets of bricks out there. They want to cause chaos. They want an American Civil War. They want us fighting each other so that they can come in and play puppet master like they've been doing in some other countries we may know about. Maybe in Eastern Europe. Just maybe. Okay. Op number 3. Trump wants to be dictator. We using Palantir. We using these AIs. He calling in the Marines. And he's about to exercise federal power to exceed the rights of the states, to take over the United States and conquer all. That's op number 3. And then op number
say that typically, it does require the governor to bring in the National Guard. So when he did that, I don't know. Okay. There's a bunch of weird legalities. That's what Perplexity had said. There's a bunch of things that are kind of like weird gray area.
These are emergency things. Like he's the president, bro.
Well, okay. I mean, listen, I'm all about states' rights, fellas. I'm about the local counties' rights. I don't even want the federal government or the state involved in the local counties. Your local county should have the most power, in my opinion. Because you can go down to the local courthouse with your buddies and, give your representatives a good talking to. But if they don't have anywhere to run to and say, oh, well, we have to do what the federal government says or we have to do what the state says. You know what I'm saying? You might get some change on the local level. I don't know. That's my anarchist side coming out. You know what I'm saying?
I can see in a way. That's fair. That's fair. That's a fair.
idea. I'm just saying, but it does make me a little uncomfortable that I'm suddenly agreeing with Gavin Newsom.
Well, listen,
the true defender of states' rights.
Well, no, because the problem is there's nuance, right? States' rights as they stand. No, there's got to be.
What's your favorite quote? Fresh. 2 things can be true at once.
Yeah, 2 things can be true at once, bro. Exactly. Like you can be for states' rights and against what Gavin Newsom's saying and doing right now, like, bro. Because again, like we don't have the system set up to have true, proper states' rights. We need intercession by the federal government right now.
So okay, because here's the rationale they're giving, I think, is literally Gavin Newsom is a criminal, an enemy of the United States. As a governor, he's not doing his job. He's not protecting the country, and so it's an insurrection. It's an actual invasion of our country that's happening in California. And so that's why we're sending in the Marines, because the Marines are supposed to deal with the other thing that's weird though is that why are they sending in Marines? Why are they sending in the National Guard? That's what I didn't get either. I'm like,
did my camera die again?
Maybe that's why. Yeah, his camera's frozen again.
Yeah. What is you can just leave it off, Deezy. We can hear you. Just leave it off. It's all good.
Or leave it like that. Whatever.
I just leave it like that.
It's like
actually leave it, Deezy. We can see you. It's just frozen, and you look very angry about.
But this is probably why it wasn't the National Guard, because there's hoops and you need the governor to use the National Guard.
Right.
Trump the governor has to use the Marines to go wherever he wants in the United States and do whatever he wants.
Okay, but here's the thing.
We need the governor for that.
But here's the thing, though. I do have to disagree. I think there's so many precedents that this sets that are very dangerous, and I also believe that I've always asserted that we should follow the Constitution when it comes to war. If you want a war, you got to declare a war. And if you declare a war, you have a mission and you perform that mission, and then it's over, And ever since, I don't know when, but I don't think since World War II has Congress ever declared properly a war. I think maybe in Vietnam. We might have to look that up. So if I'm going to say that about foreign wars, I'm definitely going to say that about domestic, any sort of domestic federal. You got the Mexican flag behind you. It's all right. Yeah,
I figured out what it is.
Okay.
Something's going on in the StreamYard.
We don't need to know. Let's just continue talking. All right. I'm just saying that putting American troops on American soil to do anything, to me, sets a really, really like dangerous precedent. Because even if you believe Trump is justified, in 3 years, when we got Gavin Newsom as a president or AOC as a president, and like the worst person in the world as a president, they're gonna look at that and go, look, Trump put 700 troops in blah blah blah. It doesn't matter what for or why or anything like that. They're gonna make up some bullshit and just be like, we're gonna be able to put troops wherever, and then Americans are, and if Americans like ask for it, because this is what's kind of happening. Republicans, libertarians, whatever, we see this, we don't like it. It needs to be dealt with in some way or another. And so there's a lot of conservatives out there and a lot of people on the right or whatever saying, yes, please send in the troops. Yes, please use Palantir tech to go, figure out who these people are and monitor them and spy on them and find out who they are and then get rid of them, get them out of this country. It's like, okay, well, you just open the domestic surveillance door and you just open the, domestic, I don't know, martial law door.
Bro, the social credit score, bro.
Social credit score.
That is like the door to social credit score, constantly being watched, monitored, and then everything's going to be tied together. Bank accounts, even money on the blockchain. Sorry, crypto guys, it's going to be monitored. The flow of money will be tracked and tied. Everything that you do will get you a social credit score, up or down. Drink too much alcohol that week, your social credit score goes down.
Mm-hmm. So I see Stasher saying National Guard state run. It is state run. But then people say, what should you do? What are you going to do, man? These people come in, Turk in our country.
Is it an abuse of power? Like, is this the first time any president has ever used any troops for anything like this?
So I know that, well, I don't know in peacetime. In wartime, you had, good old Abraham Lincoln. He'd be doing all kinds of wild shit to try to keep the Union together, a lot of which I actually don't agree with. And if you ask for a certain friend of ours, Mr. Josh Clements, basically a PhD level, in my opinion, PhD level American historian with the amount he's read and understands. Lincoln was the beginning of the end of each state being kind of its own country and the federal government being, ruling all. That's what happened in the Civil War, right? So, you're just taking that to the next level with, but that was during the Civil War. I mean, it was declared war. You know what I'm saying? This is not. This is just a police action, basically, using Marines to do a police action. So, I don't know. It is a constitutional quandary of some kind. But my feeling is just, I just don't know it's reached the level of it being an insurrection where you gotta, send in, like, you're fighting an actual war on American soil. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can understand DHS, and then it's like domestic terrorism, and you have a domestic terrorism task force that's then implemented. I could kind of understand that, but sending in Marines to me I think is a step too far. I gotta, as crazy as it sounds, I kind of gotta be on Gavin Newsom's side here on this particular precedent, even though I know he's completely bullshit.
I feel like the National Guard should be able to handle that, right?
Right, yeah, but he won't send them in.
Here's what I think.
What do you do?
Solution. Here's my
let California run to shit.
This is my solution. My solution is a reverse secessionism. I think the United States should secede from California. Let them do their own thing, or secede from LA County. How about that? We don't have to secede from all of California, because a lot of California likes being part of the United States. But I say we let LA County go. Let it be its own city state. Let it live by. Let it do what it wants. Let Gavin Newsom. If we secede from California, let Gavin Newsom have California. Let's see what kind of prosperity he can create in California, and then maybe they'll be friends in a couple of years when they figured all that shit out.
Bro, what happened in the actual LA riots in '92? What did HW do?
Did he send in troops?
Marines and Army.
Get out of here! Really? I thought they just sent in National Guard. No, really?
Emergency authority.
Emergency authority. Damn, really? Wow, I didn't know that.
They acted in a supportive role for law enforcement, just like they're doing now. They don't have fucking carte blanche.
Right.
They're not
right.
just cops now.
They're just supporting whatever's there. I mean, okay. Well, I guess the precedent's there. Didn't realize that.
Yeah. So if you're allowed to, if you're already like someone's already done it, then like this is how Trump is doing it. Not that Trump's going to be used to. You know what I'm saying?
Well, then why doesn't anybody at the White House go, "Hey, this is what we did back in '92. Shut the fuck up, Gavin." Not that I agree with the notion anyway of doing that, but I'm just saying, like, wouldn't there be somebody in the administration who would go, "Hey, like, we kind of did this in '92. Here's the precedent. Release the press release," and then every conservative talking head would say the same thing. That's why I didn't realize there's a precedent for this. All right, well, I don't know.
They use the Insurrection Act.
The old Insurrection Act. What exactly is the Insurrection Act?
Here, give me 1 second. I'll read.
Yeah, because I know that's been used over the years to do all kinds of crazy stuff.
I'm gathering data right now. It says there's approximately 3.6 to 3.84 million just Hispanic adults in LA. How many police officers do you think that they employ?
But before we I know. But so before we move on, the Insurrection Act is a US federal law that allows the president to deploy active duty military or National Guard troops within the United States to suppress civil disorder, insurrection, or rebellion. It provides an exception to the Posse Comitatus
or whatever
Act, which normally prohibits the military from acting as domestic law enforcement. The law requires that local authorities be unable or unwilling to maintain public order before federal troops can be used. And that's exactly what is happening. Newsom won't call in the National Guard. They're either unwilling or unable. So now Trump has no choice but to either allow LA to go to shit because people are rioting, or send in the troops because that's all he has.
Right. Okay. I guess my question is at what point can you say definitively that, like, say, local law enforcement can't handle the situation? You know what I'm saying? Because, like, I think that's what some people are arguing. They're saying, look, LA's used to this shit. LA's had riots before. It gets a little crazy, but, and it's kind of what's happened. I mean, by the time we're doing this episode, it's kind of died down and people went home and, they had it out.
The fucking military went in.
Just to follow up on my previous stats that I'm trying to just kind of paint a picture here. So there's 3.6 million Hispanic adults that live in the LA area. Not to say that all Hispanic people are out rioting, right? And not to say that only Hispanic people are out rioting, but just to give you kind of a number to understand. And all of the deputies in all the cities, LA County, Santa Monica, Long Beach, combining all of those, they only have up to 21,000 officers and federal agents. So, like, think about if, like, it reached a point where a large number of people who live in LA County were rioting, they're vastly outnumbered, right? I was just talking about the Hispanic population. How many millions of people are there? What if 80% of the people in LA County feel the same way and they all start rioting? Can you imagine how crazy things get, And there's not enough people to keep the peace.
Well, again, I argue that it's already not enough.
I don't know if that many people would start rioting, though. I mean, when I lived in LA, man, I mean, it's like, you live there. You got to live with whatever the consequences of rioting.
It was out of hand. It was getting out of hand. This is why they were called.
I don't know, man. I'm a little skeptical. I just got to be honest.
I'm also
a little skeptical that the Marines were required. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think the military should be doing too much stuff domestic. I think that's what National Guard is. That should have been done, and I don't know if that were the case. Then, but then we have to ask the question: if Trump did nothing, and then it got progressively worse, then would they end up trying to blame him for not doing something fast enough?
Yes,
that's true. Yeah,
yes,
that's true. You can't win if you do nothing. Oh, well, Trump should have done something.
Like, what
Right.
happens if they burn down, if they Gaza Strip LA? They
Right.
burn it to the fucking ground just because, bro. Just gets out of hand.
Yeah.
Shit happens,
That was
right? Like one minute you're
horrible.
burning down one little place, the next minute a whole fucking neighborhood's burnt down. You know what I mean? Or the whole fucking county's burnt. Who the fuck knows? And then
Right.
what?
Right.
And then you're like, oh, Trump should have sent in the military. Trump should have. Can't win for losing, bro. It is what it is, man.
I understand that, but at some point you got to be like, look, Trump should just be like, look, I'm gonna hang back. I'm gonna watch and see, and if they want us to help, then they can call me. But otherwise, I'm chilling. I mean, you could say that.
That's
I don't
not to cause the least harm, bro.
I mean,
Doing that as the president. Listen, this is not some foreign place where he has no control over, brother. This is a major city, a major hub for the United States of America, which he has total fucking power over. Why would he allow people to destroy it in the name of another country? That
Right.
makes no fucking sense, bro. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm locking everybody up and we'll figure it out later, bro. Like, again, if I'm the president, I'm not allowing it to happen. I'm not allowing them to just burn down my city. I'm not allowing them to do whatever they want just because the governor, who again is supposed to answer to him, is not doing his job.
right.
And Trump's not allowed to tell the National Guard to go in because it's state controlled. The fuck's he supposed to do? Is it just be like, hey, yeah, it's okay? Again, as a president, that'd be a weak move to me.
There's a part of me that's like, fuck it. Like, states got to deal with their shit until it becomes a true imminent threat to America. I don't know, man. I mean, because it's not like, I don't know. Or send in DHS and make it counterterrorism and use all the resources of counterterrorism to get in here and, knock this shit out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't think Marines is the problem that I have. Like, U.S. military. Because we have police. That's what we have police for. That's what we have DHS for. Like, you tell me DHS can't deal with this? That's what we have the FBI for. I mean, at least domestic agencies should be involved in dealing with this. If it's going to be national, it should be domestic agencies. It shouldn't be, the military. I don't know. But, and I feel like, again, that the precedent is a very dangerous precedent to set.
He didn't set it.
I mean, well, I guess they send the Marines, but the Marines never were deployed, correct? In this.
Like, they're not. It's not like they're out there fucking.
Right, they're just sitting there just in case.
Yeah, they have special authority. Like, if they're helping the police.
There are approximately 7.73 million adults that live in LA County. So, and with my previous stat, it says about 75% of those people are probably Hispanic residents. So you're talking 3.6 million out of the 7.
But not all. A lot of Hispanics don't like illegals. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them. I mean, if you look at Florida,
I'm just
Florida
talking about like
Trump
disparagement of their community. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Because there was a lot of people that probably got wrapped up in those raids that were just street vendors and shit that were just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a tough one.
It's a hard. It is. It's like, do you apply it in an absolute, or do you have to have humility and like things need to be done in a specific way? And the government's never been too good at doing either one of those things right. You know what I mean? Like applying absolutes, never, because they don't apply the law to themselves. So, and then doing things with humility, not unless it comes with a blank check. So, most of the motherfuckers don't care.
Force is always, it usually backfires. It usually backfires when people use force to try and solve problems. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate to say it, but it's like, there's only so much, Americans can only stomach so much, like, like we get all riled up and shit. But man, like, once we start seeing the real shit, we're kind of like, oh, I don't know. That kind of sucks. Like, getting snatched up at the vent, but while you're just trying to sell some fucking, I don't know, chalupas. What they Arepas, whatever.
This
That show.
motherfucker, bro.
We're like, he just trying to sell arepas. Like, freak.
Easy guy says a Taco Bell
Arepas,
item.
sorry.
Look, bro.
My God.
It's not my job to judge if you're allowed to be here or not. I think that whatever force they need to use at this point, especially if they're rioting, they should be allowed to use.
Rioting, I understand. We gotta stop.
Look, you don't get to damage other people's property. You don't get to don't damage property, because it's at the end of the day, if you're damaging public property, well, then that's everybody's property that you're damaging. Yours too. You're damaging your own property. If you're damaging something else, like somebody's business or their vehicle or something, then like that's victimizing somebody that probably wasn't necessarily always, that might have been on your side. You know what I'm saying? It's like the conundrum with the Teslas. Like a bunch of people who drove Teslas were Democrats. And so Democrats, when this whole Elon Musk thing, they drive Teslas, they had to put like anti-Elon Musk stickers and shit on their Teslas. And it's a hypocrisy all around.
Do you guys believe that this stuff is happening organically, or do you believe that nefarious forces are
being fed on both sides?
So you think it's already there, but then everybody's coming in and for whatever reason? Because like they're saying there's going to be on June 14th, they're saying there's going to be a national protest in many American major cities. I think liberal cities, but there's going to be national protests. And
for what?
Or I don't know, for illegal immigrant rights or whatever. But the person who's sponsoring these protests, but get this, the person who's funding these protests nationally in this organization is none other than a member of the Walton family from Walmart.
Interesting.
So why is she doing it? She's doing it because these illegals provide a lot of labor. So it makes sense. You don't want them to get kicked out. That's your cheap labor force. We got to keep them here. We ain't getting rid of them and hiring some dang Native American. I'm talking actual Native. Well, no, not actual. I'm talking people like us, American natives. They don't want to pay us $15 an hour and health care. So what are you gonna do? I mean, I don't know.
I don't know, bro. They're calling.
I say here's my thought.
Everything is just happening all at once. It's like a constant distraction. That's what I feel like the last fucking 8 years has been. Look here, not there. Look here, not there. Oh, here's a new thing. Oh, Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. Oh, we didn't have the camera footage. Oh, did he? Oh. Like it's like we're just gonna keep pulling rabbits out the hat, so you keep forgetting about the previous trick we never finished.
I mean, the whole Palantir thing.
That's what I'm saying.
Everybody's talking about it. Palantir taking over all the making a national database. Elon Trump fallout. Done. Nobody talking about that anymore. I don't know. I mean, it could just be that the news cycle is short now. You only get 3 days on a news cycle now. You don't get a whole week or whatever. You get 3 days and that's it. Fire it up and we done. So I don't know, guys. I do feel like they're definitely. I agree with you, Fresh. I think that there are definitely forces out there that want to instigate this more and more and fan the flame so that they can. There's all kinds of reasons why people want to see the United States, get in a civil war, get see. I mean, every powerful nation in the world probably wants the United States to be in a civil war. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of agendas out there. But one store I could understand why they looted was Apple, because their designers are on some bullshit. They probably saw a new design and they're like, we got to take this place out.
Shit, I want to riot, man. Damn. How can you not put at least opacity? Come on, guys. Apple. Pay me. I'll fund the GOAT show with how much you pay your designers. What, $500K or something? Your lead designer? Yeah, dude. It's called opacity. All right. Listen, I'm gonna talk to designers here, right? Because y'all know what I'm talking about.
Wait, isn't it called like liquid glass?
It's called liquid glass, people. All right?
And there's
Apple's
no
new
opacity.
innovation. Sometimes you got to make the liquid cloudy.
That's crazy. Cloudy glass. The liquid is pee.
Bro, they started
Jizz
going down
UI.
many iOS updates ago, bro. They changed the simplicity of like your pull down drop bar. You remember when you used to just pull down, it was like the 4 options and your notifications. That's it. Now it's like all these fucking widgets and buttons and shit that I never use. And I'm like, what the fuck is all this bullshit?
And like traditionally, look at that shit. Traditionally, I would have been like back in the day, people used to be like, oh, Steve will turn in his grave. And I always felt that was a little unfair. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know what Steve would have thought. He changed his mind. Look, the App Store wasn't even Steve's idea. He didn't want to do the App Store. But his team convinced him, and then he was like, okay, let's figure out a way to do it the way that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you don't know what Steve would have done. He might have changed his mind, but I can confidently say that he would not have been down for multiple layers of liquid that have no opacity layer on them. So you can't, it's a jumbled mess. That's just weird to me. Like it's Apple. Like nobody at Apple on their design team was like, hey guys, listen, it's a little hard to see what's what when you layer 3 layers of liquid glass shit on top of each other. Why don't we just blur out? All right, we don't want to do Jizzy UI with the cloudy liquid. Just blur out the bottom layer. Like every layer on top, you just blur it a little bit. We already got that.
Jizzy UI.
Because I'm sure somebody was like, listen, if we add the cloudy thing to it, it's going to look like jizz. And they were like, okay, we can't have it. But somebody could have said, just, hey, listen, why don't we just blur it a little bit? Blur it out. You get the cool colors and all the things, but you don't get any of the graphical information that makes it hard to see what you're looking at.
You know, when are they
how many people on that team?
All that shit. Should be able to customize all of that. Like you could pull up the selection panel and you select each part and you want this to be gone or you want it to be visible. And you can you should be able to edit all of that shit on your phone. Back in the day, you could have everything customizable.
That's too Samsung, bro. It's too Samsung. That ain't Apple. With Apple, they got to figure that shit out. They got to tell us what the real shit is, what the good shit is, what the new shit is. You ain't gonna MySpace that page that you got there and put sparkly things and unicorns and shit. No, we giving you Jizzy UI, Diddy Oil UI.
Yo, bro, did you see Kevin Hart at the awards saying, I did this on a Monday, so there's no after parties. You guys go home. That's where shit gets slippery. You go home after this. We got Waymos. There's no drivers. You can't change where they're going. You go home.
I mean, there's video of Kevin Hart with Diddy, and he's like keeping his distance. You know, Diddy's like he's not feeling it.
Mm-hmm.
Apple made freaking Diddy UI. Can you believe that shit?
Diddy
Nobody
UI.
on the Apple team was like, hey, listen, fellas, I know you're designers locked in design mode, but like we need to zoom out a little bit here. There's a whole trial about a dude with 1,000 bottles of baby oil.
And now we're making liquid glass. That's baby oil, baby.
That's crazy, bro.
Apple, come on, man.
Yeah,
Golly.
they never come out with anything new. Their fucking updates take up a large amount of space on your phone.
Elon, just buy Apple. Can Elon just buy Apple?
Bro, if you have an iPhone for 5 years, like the iOS updates are probably going to kill it, bro. It's going to start dying on you.
I don't know, man. They need some new, fresh. I mean, that's why Johnny Ives at fucking OpenAI, man. I think he sees the writing on the wall. Like, why do you leave Apple and then go to OpenAI? I don't know. It makes me want to riot. I'll tell you that much. It makes me want to get up on a cop car and just blast Diddy oil fucking everywhere. That's what it makes me want to do.
Yo, be careful, bro. ICE might come bust through your door.
Bloodbeard, what a beard. He's got a beard, a very special beard, a romantically inclined beard. Oh, what a beard, you can't resist it. Blonde beards.
Go to blondebeards.com and use code GOAT at checkout for 10% off your first order. Yeah, I just want to say I hate my voiceover in that. I feel like it's so stiff. It's crazy. if you could tell in the new thing that I did, I was like, before I did it, I went me my momu, like I got super loose. You know what I mean?
No, it sounds great. You guys will see it this Friday on the latest episode. I'm excited for that episode. It's going to be really, really cool. I can't wait for you guys to see it. But I would say, I would take a, Blondebeard's hot sauce UI, where everything's like hot sauce. You know what I'm saying?
I bet you'd be able to see everything really good.
Right. I mean,
that's what I'm saying, bro. You should be able to apply textures to shit. Like, what the fuck, bro? It's 2025. Canva has AI. Could code on
AI
Canva.
in this little thing, bro, and you can't just tell it, yo, bro, make the background blurred.
Yeah, dude.
What is Apple doing? Golly, man.
Bro, you want to know something else that's crazy? Something that happens on the iPhone? I have a saying on that. You cannot unblur that. Why do I even have a background?
What do you mean?
And then
you can't
it's on
wait, what?
There's no way to set it as not blurry. And then also I did it for the lock screen. You can't see it on the lock screen either. It's stupid.
I don't know.
It makes
that might
no
be something
sense.
You might need to read down your Ledger iOS. I don't have that problem. I don't know. What frustrates me is, and maybe this is an argument for AI design, but I'm just saying, like, it just frustrates me that I don't know how big that design team is at Apple. How many people worked on that thing? And to be fair, there is some cool reflective properties and effects that are kind of innovative that I do like with the Liquid UI. You know what I'm saying? There is some cool shit, but there's a part of me that's just like, how did nobody think to go, hey, you should, like, nobody looked at 3 layers of liquid bubbles on a screen and went, guys, this is kind of hard to read. Like, is it so weird at Apple that people don't feel like they're comfortable enough to go, hey, I don't know if we should keep it like this. Like, maybe we should, try some different things. I mean, it's just basic design shit. This is like design when you go to design school, or you like start out as a first year, second year designer. This is basic shit. Hey, like, readability here is not really that great. I don't know. That's what makes me so mad about it. I'm just like, okay, well then pay me, motherfucker. Like, pay me fucking $300,000 or whatever it is to work at Apple, so I can be the guy in the room who's got a loud mouth and it'll be like, hey, we need to fucking blur this thing out in the back because it's fucking hard to read. I don't know. That's where I get frustrated, man. I'm just envious, I guess. But
I mean, I agree though, right? Because like, I don't know how, like, I wouldn't be able to, like, when we're designing things, we see little flaws and we're like,
right. We're pouring over everything at the Go show. And half the time, like, I'll see some, and I'll be like, damn, the space between that S and the B and subscribe, like, did I kern that correctly? Or the S and the C. I look at that S and the C and subscribe up here, and I'm like, did I kern that properly? Is the spacing between the two of those like the right spacing?
Bro, these are measurements. Those are measurements for where the screen placement is on each individual piece that we use, bro. Written down, meticulously done.
This flag right here, this thing right here. You know how long I spent trying to, like, I'm like, should this be thicker, this line over here, so that it can go into the flag? You know how many hours I spent on that? And someone at Apple can't look at 3 layers of white of Jizzy Blobs or whatever, and be like, "Yo, this Diddy Oil UI, we need to blur it out a little bit in the background. Like, what's going on here with this? There's nobody in that team that thought that. Golly, man, fuck.
Is everybody on that team?
Funny thing about it. The funny thing about it being called Diddy Oil UI is that's how your vision probably looks after you get rubbed with the Diddy oil.
Well, listen, if you take a piece of paper and you rub baby oil on it, you can see right through it. Fucking Diddy Oil UI, bro. Jizzy Diddy Oil, man.
Oh man. Timmy C, man. Come on, Tim Cook. What are you doing, bro? Asleep at the wheel. Where's AI? How did Apple miss AI? I mean, completely miss AI. They had Siri. You had it already. You just had to teach it some things.
I think they have native ChatGPT now, don't they?
I guess so, but like,
I think you have to like download it into the. You have to do something specific, but you can tie Siri to ChatGPT. Yeah.
Mm-mm. It's just, yeah, I don't know, man. It's weird to me. It's just there's no vision now. I mean, and this is to Steve's credit. The hardware is so good still that it's still better, in my opinion, than any other phone.
I dropped this bitch. I have a cracked screen. I dropped this bitch in the river. All right. It was underwater for like 5 to 10 minutes. We found it in the river. I was getting water out of my phone. I had water in my camera for like a week and a half. She's running great. Everything still works. I mean, threw in some rice overnight. She's still.
I mean, you know the story about Steve and water with the iPhone, right? I don't know if you know that story.
No, let's hear it.
They were going to release the iPhone. I think this is a story. They were going to release the iPhone. They're ready to go. They're like, fuck yeah, let's go. Steve walks outside, and all of a sudden, it starts raining. And he had his phone out. And then he was like, oh, shit. Like, we didn't think about rain. So they said, so he scrapped it, and they waited another year before they released the iPhone to make sure that in water, you can still use the iPhone. I mean, think about that. Steve Jobs wanted the iPhone more than anything. And he was willing to say, you know, sorry. I'm just saying, like, he was meticulous, and I mean, people say that he was an asshole or he was like hard to deal with or hard to handle. Didn't suffer fools, but in a way, I'm kind of like, yeah, if you're the head of Apple, making the best fucking hardware in the world, somebody's got to be that person. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Tim Cook has to be that person if he's not that guy, but there's got to be somebody at Apple that's like everybody's terrified of, you know? Maybe it is, maybe whoever the head of design is, like, they need to be terrified of that guy. Like, oh shit, he fucking just walked in the room. Like, you need that guy, I think, at a place like Apple. I'm sure at Tesla, if Elon walks in the room, everybody in that motherfucking room is like, oh shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, except the people who are like super brilliant that they never have to, you know, they're just super brilliant all the time. But I mean, everybody else, I mean, I'll tell you a story, actually, a guest that we've had on the show. I'll tell you who it is after the show, but his brother worked at Tesla, and he was saying, like, when Elon walks in, like, he walks up and just asks a question, you better have the answer like right there and then, like ready to go. You know, and if you don't, it's like, it gives you a look, like, he didn't even have to tell you that you're in trouble. He just gives you a look and moves on. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit like that. Like,
it's like, you're fired now.
You know, I mean, it just depends. I mean, and that's not, I mean, some people love that in a work environment. That's not for me. It's a little too intense for me. That's why I'm not there. But I'm saying, like at Apple, a place like Apple, you expect it to be like that. Like, if you're going to work at Apple, you're hanging out with the best of the best of the best. Like, you're hanging out with the best in the world, world-class fucking designers, especially at Apple. Like at Facebook, I don't expect to have world-class designers. And I don't expect that shit at, you know what, like, well, X is owned by Elon, but I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't expect that.
Facebook should have fucking world-class designers at this point, bro.
Sure. Well, I mean, those glasses, I don't know.
but
Hey,
they're
Siri.
fucking up.
Ask ChatGPT what a Facebook designer makes. It's still not asking.
What about Perplexity? Perplexity is the best, man. In my opinion.
I'm just gonna go on a rant here. I think that I'm pissed at Meta because they added Threads now, and I'm not downloading it. I don't
I'm not
care.
either.
But
not
what
either.
pisses me off, bro, is it's on Facebook. So you see something you see like a cut of something interesting, and you click on it, and it's like, oh, you got to download Threads to see this. Fuck you, bro. I already have Instagram. I'm on Facebook. Like another app, dude. Come on.
Actually, you know what? You know what? I'm a toast. And this is one of those Machiavellian toasts. Zuckerberg knows how to play the game, man. He really do. He really do know how to play the game. All right. His ass, when it was time to cozy up to Trump, what'd he do? Cozied up to Trump. Now Elon's out. Who knows? Maybe he doesn't cozy up. It doesn't matter.
You're Elon now.
Yeah. I love that meme. I mean, he knows the game, man. He plays the game.
It's time to play the game.
He's like, look, nobody's using Threads. All right, I'll just shove it in Instagram. Every fucking couple of posts, you're gonna see a Threads thing, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, it's annoying as fuck, bro. I bet you, like, every time I click on one, they're like, damn, we're gonna get them one of these days.
After you see that for the next 10 years.
And the algorithm for what to suggest from Threads is better than the algorithm for what's supposed to show up in my post. So like I'm not even super interested in what's on Instagram, and the fucking thread is like right up my alley. I'm right. Yo, I really want to know what the fuck.
He is an evil genius. I really do believe Zuck is an evil genius. Like he knows. And he would probably laugh if you told him that. I'd be like, you bastard. What? He's like, ha ha, I got you.
Like,
and then I have to be like, listen, you did get me.
I wish it would just like incorporate everything into like a meta platforms.
Nope.
And then you have like a Facebook tab, an Instagram tab, and a Threads tab.
Nope.
Right?
Nope. Never gonna do it. You're gonna
3 separate applications. We can data
run ads, but remember this: if you want to run ads, it's all integrated into one place.
Right. So they have it already set up. They could just integrate the consumer and the UI, but they're like, nah,
no,
fuck them. Give them another app. Then they have to delete something else off their phone, make more room for us.
Yeah.
Plus, that's another.
Get rid of all the apps.
Plus, it's another terms and conditions. We can maybe squeeze another one. Another.
This is up, man. Listen, you got to respect. You got to respect the game, man. You got to respect the game with Zuck. He's been doing this shit for 20 years. Like, oh, Instagram's coming up. We'll buy him. Oh, stories, Snapchat's doing stories and shit. Fuck it. We'll just build stories right into Instagram and totally have people forget about Snapchat.
Now Snapchat is like an OnlyFans extension.
Pretty much.
Bro, there's like premium Snapchats and like, you know, it's just OnlyFans too.
Right.
Too.
Evan should have taken that fucking money back in the day.
Yeah, they got cooked, my bro.
They got cooked.
Yeah, they got sucked, my bro.
With,
They should have known when to fold them, baby.
Listen, Zuck, if you ever give an offer for the Goat Show, we're selling it. Because he'll make another Goat Show somehow. He'll find 3 of us that are more interesting.
It's not possible.
It's impossible.
I'll fight my replacement.
He's gonna build 3 of those like Facebook avatar versions of us.
Just
listen, bro, I'm humble enough to know that I am replaceable, but I'm also cocky enough to know that it would definitely be a downgrade. So do what it do, baby. I'll make another show.
Meta. He'll call it the Meta Goat Show.
I'll call my show the anti-meta show. I won't even have goat in it. Fuck you, Zuck.
He would make avatars of us where we would have goat horns and shit. I would watch that.
My show would just be called This is Meta.
By the way, Mr. Zuckerberg, sir, if you would like to come on the Goat Show to be interviewed, We would love to have
You
you.
have an open invite.
Open invite. Ah, all right. Well, yeah. Apple, come on, man. Come on, Timmy C. We hold it down for you, man. Even when they started accusing you of the cobalt and shit, we held it down for you.
I was
Time to
like,
return
fuck it. Fuck those
favor.
kids. I just want my iPhone. Now you're letting me down, man.
Well, they're just gonna send in the is Apple gonna have a robot? Please tell me you're working on a robot, Apple. Come on. I mean, you
Better
here's the
not
other
be
thing.
like that car, because they tried to work on a car and then got cucked by
But
Elon.
Elon. Tesla's the new Apple. Let's just face it. It's the new app. I mean, Elon really started coming on his own after Steve passed. So, the torch has been passed. I'm just waiting for a Tesla phone. I think Elon should just do it.
God, it's so fucking saturated already, bro. Sometimes I think about how many millions and millions of phones they make every year and don't sell, plus the ones that people are still using from forever ago. And there are still people using flip phones. I'm like, bro, we make so much extra bullshit fucking phones. Where do they all go? Do they disassemble them?
I'll be honest
and
with you, bro.
I mean, they say they recycle them. But
Like, you see, I don't know if you guys seen the new Motorola Razr, but I'm gonna be honest with you. If the Motorola Razr had iPhone internals, I'd cop that shit. I'd be back to a flip
shit.
phone.
I didn't even know they're making a new Motorola Razr. I always thought the Razr was a great name, good branding.
Bro, my favorite was the Sliver.
Taking it
Because
back.
the Sliver was like the Nokia 5190, just like an upgrade. You know what I mean? That's what it felt like to me.
I'm looking this thing up. Motorola Razr. Wait, didn't Microsoft buy Motorola?
Did it?
I don't know.
My first smartphone, I used to have the Katana, which is like Sprint's version of the Razr. It's the knockoff. But then when I got to a smartphone, I had the HTC Evo back in 2010. And that was like the coolest smartphone at the time, bro. And you could do all kinds of crazy shit on it. Everything was customizable. This was in 2010.
I had one of those too, and I used to play Final Fantasy on it.
Bro, shit was crazy.
And Baldur's Gate.
All right, guys. Well, listen. I feel like there's too much this tequila hits. I'll tell you that much. There's too much conflict in the world, too much catastrophe. I just want peace, brothers. All right. So all y'all Mexicans out there, you're now citizens of the United States. I just announced it. All right. Hey, we're done. You're welcome. Viva la Mexico. Viva las Estados Unidos. Huh? We gotta learn Spanish now. Shout out my Spanish homies out there. I guess I gotta learn your language now. I'm not really good at languages.
Look, love everybody, and what's that? What did they say in that song? What the fuck? La gente está muy loca.